Thursday night football, Joe Burrow versus Lamar Jackson. Welcome to the Blitz Show, brought to you by Covers, where Derek Carty and his Blitz projections look to pick off the best plus EV plays for every primetime game. Derek, another great showing in week 10, 6-2, plus 4.62 units. Plays are at 35%. Remember, like 2 weeks ago, we're hitting like 24%. We're like, this is unsustainable. Well, we've actually improved. So congrats to the system. It's been a great ride. Baltimore, -4, seeing as high as -4.5 some points. There's a buyback at 4.5. There's a buyback at the 3.5. Over under sitting at 46. We got leans, we got plays, but the Blitz just keeps finding value in these primetime island games, and we're going back to back with a pair of plays on a pair of quarterbacks who we've already hit and been profitable on this year. Lamar Jackson, over 45.5 rushing yards, even money, points bet. That's a play at the time of recording on Wednesday afternoon. We hit Lamar week 6 over 41.5. And considering the Bengals could be without both starting defensive ends in Sam Hubbard and Trey Hendrickson, that's a big deal that I don't think is getting enough talk about. Facing the number one rushing offense in football could be tough to contain the QB without an edge. And we were talking off air, Lamar averaging an absurd 71 rushing yards per game versus Cincinnati over 9 career games is not a small sample size in the NFL, I'm sure. What do you like about Lamar outside of the hyperbole of what he does versus the Bengals?
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely going to be the side that the public is on in this matchup, but the projection really likes it too. The Blitz is projecting about 60 yards here, so over 45.5 at plus money looks really nice. There are some 42s, some 43s, some 44s out there, but they're more like -115 plays. So I'll take, the 45 at even money. I think there's better value on that, but you can take it at any of those numbers if that's all that's out there for you.
Yeah, 60. He gets what? I mean, he's double-digit carries. There's a lot to like. It's a short week. And like I said, the injuries to the Cincinnati defensive line is legit. And then we go for another one. But on the other side, Joe Burrow under 13.5 rushing yards, -110. That's a bet 365. That's a play. We hit this for a winner Sunday Night Football week 9. It was at 15.5 that week, but we still felt it was way too high then. Looking back at the previous game, San Francisco, Arizona, Seattle, Tennessee, the Rams, Burrow's rushing total was 7.5 or lower in all of those games. Just one rush for 5 yards versus Baltimore this year. I know that really doesn't affect your projection, but it's nice to know that he didn't go off versus them in the last game.
Yeah, exactly. This number looks high to me, the same as it did a couple weeks ago. He's gone over this number in 2 of his last 3, but those are the only 2 he's gone over all year. So this feels like an overreaction to kind of the recency. Even in those last 3 weeks, he's only gotten 4% of the designed runs. He's only gotten about 2% of them on the season as a whole. The Blitz is projecting 8 here. So, this is a spot where I don't expect Joe Burrow, unless he breaks a long scramble or something. I think the sharp side is the under here.
All right, so back on Joe. So those are both plays. Those are in the books. And then we have to talk about the hot button issue, which is Keaton Mitchell. Obviously, it's exciting. It's the same thing that we talk about with rookie quarterbacks. The excitement is high, but at the end of the day, what you should expect from them is not probably what you're getting in small sample sizes. I do like Keaton Mitchell in some aspects of this game earlier in the week. Those numbers are starting to dry up as the public keeps backing this guy, regardless, blindly, I think, at any number. I was at about 28.5, 29.5 rushing yards max before the number came out. It came out at about 34.5, and it keeps going up. Where is the buy point for Keaton Mitchell under here, Derek?
I mean, honestly, at the 36.5 right now, I would be tempted to hit it, but I think it's smarter to wait because, like you said, everyone is on this play. Keaton Mitchell has been, great so far. He's breaking these long runs. They're talking about, working him into the offense more. This number is going to keep going up. So I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait until the last minute, and I'm going to hit this one at whatever it ends at, 39, 40, 41, wherever it ends. That's probably what I'm looking at here. So we're not going to call it a play yet, but I do really like this one because like you said, it's a small sample size. Keaton Mitchell, yeah, he's done these great things, but running back efficiency is so noisy. We can't trust that he's this awesome running back all of a sudden when he was, not even being played, a few weeks ago. So this is a spot where he's in a committee no matter what. Even if his role increases, he's still one of three running backs plus Lamar Jackson that all the carries have to be split out between. And I mean, there's a chance that he just isn't worked in more, or there's a good chance that he's not going to break a 30-yard run again. So there's a lot of ways that this one hits. I think the people betting the over on this, especially as it keeps getting higher and higher, are probably on the square side here. I will take the under for sure.
But it brings to a good point to talk about, like, there has to be a price point where you stop the madness. You have to project some numbers, some carry numbers, and find out, because if you don't, there is no difference between 32 and a half and 38 and a half, because you're just blindly betting the over. And I
Right.
get you're saying, Derek, I guess you're saying is maintaining a 25% run rate of carries of 30 plus yards is something that most running backs in the history of the league can't do.
Most of them do not continue to do that. Obviously, there would be a point where I would hit the over here. The Blitz is projecting 29 yards. So if this did open, 25, cool, I'll hit the over.
Yeah,
As it keeps going up, 36 right now. I think the under is the sharper move.
fantastic. And if anybody wants to hit a Keaton Mitchell market and wait for some inefficiencies, wait for his receiving yards. I believe they were 5.5 last week. He could probably get it done in one shot, and you wouldn't be betting into a terribly efficient market that just keeps going up regardless of sample size or anything. So keep an eye for the Covers Twitter account, Covers X account. We might release it. We probably will release it, but we're just waiting for that number just to get as high as possible. It's a great candidate for bet later in a primetime game that's getting a lot of action. So there we go. Lamar Jackson over 45 and a half rushing yards, even money. Joe Burrow under 13 and a half rushing yards, minus 110. That's a 365. Both of those are plays. And then we're going to wait for the Keaton Mitchell hype to hit its peak and the precipice. And then we're going to buy the under. So I'm Josh Ingles. He's Derek Carty. This is the Blitz Show brought to you by Covers. We'll see you back here Sunday Night Football, Week 11.